I remember getting to 1K a month as a freelancer. It was the hugest win. So if you're right there bringing in a steady 1K a month as a freelancer, kudos, very big kudos, round of applause. You should be very, very proud. You made it out of your egg and now you're a little chick walking around the yard. You may be wobbling a little bit, but you're definitely walking. So let's set our sights on the next target. How do we dial this up and begin making good money as freelancers? In this video, let's talk about 8 lessons I learned going from 1K a month to 5K a month as a freelancer. Hey, it's Dea, freelancer, digital business manager, most recently entrepreneur. And as always, you can find sections on the play bar below if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. Your time is precious, so take what you need. And if you want to watch this on 2x, I will not be offended in the least. Okay, let's dive in. This video is a part of a 3-part series, and we're talking about going from 1K to 5K a month in the second part. From 1K to 5K a month is the intermediate stage. You've gotten out of the baby chick egg stage. Now we need to begin doing some optimization, some tweaks, but above all else, we need to lay our foundations and begin to hone in on our client funnels to ensure we have steady streams of clients coming in and being happy while working with us. So my goals during this stage were to get my foundation sorted, make a client pipeline, and of course, keep clients happy. That is it. So let's talk about how to do each of these things with these 8 lessons. All right, the first foundation lesson is we need to find some focus. In the beginning, when you're trying to get to 1K as a freelancer, your path tends to be a little chaotic because the point in the beginning is just to get out there and try everything. My start was super chaotic. I offered voiceovers, translation, graphic design, tons of little random things. And alongside that, you will always have clients that say things like, hey, would you be interested in helping with this? Hey, can you also help me do this? Can you learn this and implement this other thing too? And you say yes to everything, as you should. So you end up doing 1,000,001 things. So that is a good thing, by the way. Like, you want to try out as many things as you can get your hands on in the beginning. But once we begin scaling to 5K a month, we need to get focused. So during this stage, I looked at everything that I offered. I thought about what were the most profitable and strategic services to offer. And I began cutting out all the things I didn't enjoy doing and clients I did not like working with. And this is super important. And of course, this was not an overnight thing. This is an ongoing process I did as I scaled slowly from 1K to 5K a month. And be aware, you will continuously have to prune your plan. If not, you will have a gigantic stuck mess on your hands very, very quickly where you do everything under the sun for everybody under the sun and nobody has any clue what exactly it is that you do, and you don't have the opportunity to get really good at your 1, 2, 3 things. The next lesson I learned is you need to get super clear on your financials. In the early stages, we're not really making enough money to need to really keep track of it super good, but starting at a couple $1,000s a month, we need to get super duper intimate with our numbers. We need to be best friends. So my 3 mini lessons here are: know what money is coming in and going out, aka cash flow, month over month. What clients do you have? How much are they paying? When are they paying? What expenses do you have? What clients are leaving? If cash flow dips, what do you have in place to fix that? And we'll talk more about this in lesson 5, by the way. Build an emergency fund for sure. So yes, having an emergency fund is obviously great for emergencies, but secretly, I think they're really good to have as psychological support. It is a delight to have financial backups and safety nets, right? They give you room to breathe. They ensure you're not always in like this desperate, scarce mindset where you need every client. So build that emergency fund now, even if it's just setting aside $50 a month into it, that's totally fine, or less if that's all you can afford right now. The third thing is make sure you're raising rates if you haven't already. Raising rates is honestly a non-negotiable as a freelancer. Nobody's going to give you a raise unless there's some magical unicorn client. You have to regularly be reevaluating your rates as a freelancer. And yes, I have detailed step-by-step videos on how to do that I'll link below as well. Thanks for asking. The next thing is you need to get organized if you want to make more money. No more random post-it notes, no more I will remember that, no more letting things slip through the cracks. As you sign more clients and or higher paying clients, you need to be on it. You need to have the systems to handle more moving elements. So that means you need to at least have a calendar that manages all time-sensitive to-dos and events and calls with reminders set up so you never forget anything. And I have a video on calendars for freelancers that I'll link as well. You need to have an inbox that is organized and streamlined so nothing gets lost and everything is responded to. And very importantly, you need a freelancer HQ headquarters. If you don't know what that is, go watch my video about it. I'll link it below. But essentially what it is it's an all-encompassing to-do list for every single client and every single thing that needs to get done for that client. And every single task that's ever told to you, emailed to you, whispered to you, snail mailed to you ends up in this headquarters to ensure that this is our one true location where everything is. Nothing is floating around in our brain. Nothing is loose all over our desk. It's all in this headquarters, and that is how we can be sure nothing slips through the cracks. Lesson 4 is implementing boundaries, non-negotiable. When we're baby freelancers, we're like, boundaries, who's that? Don't know her. But when we get to the stage, we can't afford that luxury anymore. It is too expensive. You need boundaries if you want to make more money to scale. And yes, I've got videos on the 4 types of boundaries you need to have as a freelancer. I will link that below as well. Do not skip boundaries. You will come to severely regret it, as I did. I learned this lesson way too many times while crying and responding to emails at 10 p.m. on a Saturday. Non-negotiable. You have to do it. Cool, so now we have our foundation set. We need to ensure we have a robust sales and client funnel. We need to build that client funnel, right? So how do you take strangers and turn them into paying clients? You need to create a flow, a funnel, a step-by-step. Every business has some sort of a flow for customers and clients, aka step 1, do this, step 2, step 3, for people to slowly get to know you and build that trust with you. So do you, as a freelancer, have that mapped out? You can just sketch it out on a piece of paper to start. It can be as simple as a free 30-minute discovery call and manual emails that you send them in the beginning. I can also make a more detailed video on this if you're curious, then let me know. And a quick tip here is make sure you implement a referral scheme in your client funnel as well. Very important. And yes, I have a video on that as well. I have a video on setting up referral schemes in detail, and it comes with an email template, and I'll link that below if you need help with that. I also highly recommend working on your client experience more. It's important to do it at this stage because you need it in place before you grow too big. So think through your entire client experience. How can you onboard clients better? How can you make things easier, smoother, clearer for them during the project? How can you offboard clients better so they feel like everything was wrapped up really nicely and tied with a really neat, cute bow tie? And how can you make sure every client wraps up a project with you feeling so taken care of and supported that they refer you to 3 other people? And super important, of course, you need to ensure you are getting client feedback every step of the way, which leads me to my next point. As a freelancer, it's your job to work on your own growth and development. So make a growth plan for yourself. How can you improve? What can you improve? How can you develop? What would you like to learn? You need to know what you suck at if you want to scale your income. If you want to make more money, you have to know the answers to the questions I just gave you. Do not put your head in the sand and just assume everything you do is perfect, because that's super unrealistic no matter how bad we want it to be true. And I know it's rough to face constructive criticism. I used to loathe it with a fiery passion. I used to loathe it with a fiery passion, but that was only hurting myself, because people who ask for feedback get better faster, and people who get better faster make more money faster. And if your technical skills are incredible and clients are not complaining about your technical skills whatsoever, look to improve your soft skills. Almost all freelancers need to work on their soft skills. Hard skills may get you the job, but soft skills will help you keep the job and get 20 referral clients off the back of that job. If you do not work on your soft skills, you will have an impossible time getting booked out as a freelancer. So make sure you know what your weaknesses are so you can work on those. And I know it's one of those tips that's like, duh, but I just find that most people still do not do it. So I do want to mention that this is super important if you want to scale your income. Lesson 7 is something you may not realize you have to do as a freelancer. And that something is you have to promote yourself. In a corporate environment, there are structures built in to have promotions and reevaluate your salary, but as a freelancer, that's your job. Nobody promoted me from content assistant to content manager. Nobody promoted me from project manager to business manager. I did that myself with my clients. Obviously, don't go promoting yourself every week willy-nilly, but if you've been doing a role for a little bit and you notice that you're doing more, you've learned more, you've developed, you can talk to your client and promote yourself into a new role. In small businesses, clients are very open to that because small businesses tend to grow very quickly, so they need to pull people up very fast. They need people who are familiar with their processes to begin managing people if they start hiring more people below you. So change out your title, reevaluate your rates and services regularly, look for higher level clients. That is how you begin to scale. Promoting myself is a huge factor in how I went from earning $10 an hour as a virtual assistant to making it to 6 figures as a digital business manager a few years later. And yes, I say this all the time, but it's true. You are your biggest asset as a freelancer. That means you need to invest in you if you want to scale or grow. If you do not have money to invest with your time. Develop your skill set. Get better at your weak points. You can join low-cost or strategic communities for networking. I personally would be looking to join communities that are less than $100 a month or so at this point, especially looking for communities where I can build a presence and authority and are filled with target clients and business owners. You can also look into tools that will save you time and money. It may be time to invest in, things that will save you from manually sending invoices or processing payments or onboarding clients manually. At this stage, you may also be ready to give away a few small things to someone else by outsourcing. So this may be a good stage to invest in some accounting, bookkeeping, or taxes help, potentially also legal help for official business setup if that's something that's down your alley. So those are 8 of my lessons learned going from 1K to 5K, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. So if you're on this stage, it'll let me know if you have any lessons you'd like to add to this list. And if you want to know my biggest lessons learned going from 5K to 10K a month as a freelancer, hop on over to the third part of this 3-part series. Here's that video. Ready and waiting for you to watch it. This is the next episode of the series. I can't autoplay it, so you'll have to click it if you want to watch it. Yay! As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!